Have you ever stopped to think about something really fundamental, like our justice system, and wondered, how could AI change it? Not just, minor tweaks, but really transform it, make it genuinely faster, fairer, more accessible.
It's a fascinating question, isn't it? And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at the UK Ministry of Justice's really ambitious strategy for using AI across its services.
Right, and this isn't just talk. We're working directly from their AI Action Plan for Justice, which just came out in July 2025.
Hmm.
So it's very current, very real world.
Absolutely. It's a blueprint for actual change.
And the vision they paint,
Yeah.
it's incredibly bold. They're talking about AI as the key to, well, quicker justice, more equitable access, but also tackling these really persistent problems.
Yeah, things like court backlogs, which feel almost endless sometimes, prison capacity challenges, even improving rehabilitation, supporting victims better. It's quite a scope.
It sounds almost, well, optimistic, doesn't it? But the aim seems to be a fundamental shift in how justice actually works day to day.
It does. And what's really interesting right from the start is the focus isn't just on let's make things efficient. They immediately say, hang on, this has to be done responsibly.
Yeah.
Public trust, human rights, the rule of law, they stayed up front. These are absolutely essential. It's not an afterthought, which is quite refreshing, actually.
That's a crucial point, acknowledging that balance right away. So, okay, let's dig in. Why AI? Why now for justice? The plan seems pretty clear. The system's feeling the strain.
Oh, definitely. The context is key. You've got widespread issues, limited access to legal help for lots of people, courts really struggling under the weight of caseloads, persistent problems in prisons. It does feel like a system ripe for, well, some kind of significant change.
Yeah, it sets the stage.
And that's where AI comes in with its unique strengths, its ability to learn from huge amounts of data, handle complexities, scale up, and even, converse naturally.
Right.
The plan stresses this isn't about replacing people, it's about enhancing human judgment, giving people better tools to make better decisions quicker.
Like a co-pilot, essentially, making the humans better at their jobs. So the plan highlights 7 specific benefits they're aiming for. What are some of those key improvements?
Well, the first big one is pretty straightforward, freeing up professional time. Automating the mundane stuff, the repetitive admin, so staff can focus on the more meaningful human parts of their job.
Makes sense.
Second, increasing system capacity, basically using AI for smarter scheduling. Think people, courtrooms, prison resources, getting everything allocated more intelligently.
And that could directly impact things like court backlogs or prison capacity planning.
Exactly. Big potential there. Then third is this idea of more personalized and preventative justice, using AI to help create tailored rehabilitation plans or maybe more targeted support for victims.
Personalized, okay. What else?
Fourth, creating more equitable legal pathways. This could involve things like AI tools for citizens, helping them navigate legal processes, maybe even resolving some disputes without needing court.
Wow, that could really open things up for people who find the system daunting.
Rare.
What about wider impacts?
Well, fifth is enhanced public protection. So using AI for more precise risk assessments, better operational planning for police or probation, perhaps.
Okay.
Sixth, there's a clear focus on economic growth, supporting the UK's legal sector, the law tech industry, creating high-value jobs, boosting that whole ecosystem.
Right, the UK is strong there.
And finally, seventh, building system resilience, helping the justice system respond faster to new threats, maybe even including things like AI-enabled crime itself.
So it really covers the whole spectrum, from individual staff efficiency right up to national security and the economy.
It's comprehensive, yes.
Yeah.
And the Ministry of Justice feels it's well-placed to lead this. They point to their data capabilities getting stronger, mentioning tools like Splink, which is open source developed in-house.
Splink.
Yeah, it's for linking records. And programs like Boldy and Data First. Plus, the UK has Europe's biggest legal services market, a huge law tech scene. Apparently 44% of Europe's law tech startups are here. That's a 37 billion contribution to the economy.
That's a massive base to build on.
Definitely. Add in a forward-thinking legal framework, they mentioned the Online Procedure Rule Committee, and access to world-class AI expertise, companies like DeepMind, OpenAI being nearby. It does seem like the ingredients are there.
The ingredients are there, but, implementing something this big in government, especially across different agencies with their own histories, there must be specific UK challenges, like legacy IT systems.
Yeah.
Does the plan really grapple with that?
That's a really fair point. The plan does mention data fragmentation, but perhaps underplays the sheer complexity of integrating cutting-edge AI with potentially decades-old IT systems scattered across different parts of justice.
Right.
It's not just building something new, it's plugging it into an existing, sometimes creaking infrastructure. That kind of integration, specific to a system with such a long history, is a huge technical and logistical hurdle that maybe isn't fully fleshed out in the ambition.
Yeah, upgrading a moving train, as you said earlier. So, okay, foundations first. That's their strategic priority one. Getting the basics right before the big rollout. What does that involve?
It covers quite a lot. Leadership, governance structures, ethics frameworks, sorting out the data, the actual digital infrastructure, even how they buy this stuff, procurement.
So structurally, what have they done?
Well, they've appointed a chief AI officer, which signals intent, and set up a specific justice AI unit. Importantly, this isn't just tech people, it's interdisciplinary, designed to work across the ministry and, crucially, with the Independent Judiciary HMCTS, the Judicial Office. That collaboration is key.
Absolutely. And governance. For something touching justice, that has to be rock solid.
Totally. There's an AI steering group with senior leaders overseeing things, managing risks. HMCTS, the courts service, has its own responsible AI framework.
No.
And that framework really drills down into principles like preventing unfair bias, protecting legal rights, but they also stress it needs to be agile, able to adapt as the tech evolve.
And transparency. How are they reassuring the public?
Good question. They're planning a dedicated AI communications plan, launching a new website, ai.justice.gov.uk, as a central hub, and they're committing to publishing details of AI systems on the official Algorithmic Transparency Recording Standard Hub.
Just putting it out there.
Exactly, showing they're working, which is vital for building trust, I think.
Definitely. And underpinning that, you mentioned an ethics framework.
Yes, developed with the Alan Turing Institute, which is a big name in the space. It's public, built around these safe PC principles. Let me see. Sustainability, accountability, fairness, explainability, and data responsibility.
Okay.
And it really focuses on privacy, security, and specifically tackling algorithmic bias, which, let's face it, is a massive concern in a justice context.
Huge. Now, data.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier. It's the fuel for AI, but the plan admits records are fragmented, inconsistent. How are they fixing that?
They're focusing on improving data quality and making systems talk to each other, interoperability. Linking offender data through those BOLD and Data First programs is part of it. Working on common data standards, too. The really big long-term goal, though, is this idea of a single secure identity for each individual interacting with the system.
A single identity. That sounds like a monumental task.
Yeah.
What's the payoff? You mentioned dynamic risk scores linked to this.
Right. So imagine if every touchpoint probation, court, rehab program feeds into one secure profile. It's not just about neater records. It allows for these dynamic risk scores.
Fascinating.
Meaning someone's risk assessment isn't just a snapshot taken once. It can evolve. If they get a job, finish a course, maybe their risk level adjusts in near real time. It allows for much more, responsive interventions, tailored plans, moving away from one size fits all.
Okay, I see. That could be genuinely transformative.
And to enable that, they're using that Splink software I mentioned, the open source tool their own team built. It uses explainable machine learning to deduplicate records, check accuracy. That reduces admin, sure, but it's also foundational for these more advanced AI tools to work reliably.
So getting the data plumbing right, what about the actual pipes? The infrastructure, computers, networks?
Yeah, the plan acknowledges gaps there. Despite progress, they need better connectivity across the whole justice estate, stronger security, more computing power. They mention ongoing work like the HMCTS reform program and HMPPS digital, and they point to the new ARNS tool assessing risks, needs, and strengths for probation officers as an example of building AI-ready systems.
And funding all this. AI isn't cheap, especially ongoing development.
No, they're pushing for sustainable multi-year funding, not just one-off pots of cash. And commercially, they're adopting this test and learn approach. Meaning short pilots first. Prove the value measure, user satisfaction, time saved, actual results, then scale up. Only invest further when you can show it's actually working and delivering tangible benefits.
That sounds sensible, pragmatic.
Yeah.
Have they actually used that model yet? Any examples of it working?
Yes, actually. They ran these reverse pitch events with the Department for Work and Pensions, kind of like a dragon's den for government problems.
Okay.
And one outcome was a contract with a UK SME called Taught by Humans. They're now developing an AI-driven interactive digital learning platform, so it shows that model can work to bring in innovation from outside.
That's clever.
You know?
Right, so foundations are being laid. What's priority two? Getting the AI actually out there.
Exactly. Strategic priority two is embedding AI across the justice system. And the method is this scan, pilot, scale idea. Look for opportunities, test them carefully, then roll out what works.
Scan, pilot, scale. Yeah.
And they're not just building one-off tools, they're developing a kind of suite of core AI products for common problems, things like general productivity aids, better search, speech analysis, image analysis, and these agentic capabilities.
Right. You mentioned those agentic capabilities before. It sounds quite advanced. What does that actually mean in practice?
Think of it like this. A standard AI assistant might answer your question or summarize a document. An agentic AI can go further. It can potentially take multiple steps on its own,
Like what?
like maybe automatically populating different sections of a form based on information it finds elsewhere, or cross-checking details across several different systems without a human having to manually do each step. It's AI becoming more of an active helper in a workflow. Still with controls, obviously, but doing more of the legwork.
Okay, I get it. A more proactive assistant. But let's start with the more immediate stuff. Productivity tools for staff.
Yeah, that's a big early focus. The plan is ambitious. Secure, enterprise-grade AI assistants, think Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT Enterprise for every MOJ staff member by December 2025.
Every member, why?
Yeah. And the pilots sound really positive. They're seeing time savings around 30 minutes per user per day. And interestingly, really positive feedback from neurodiverse staff finding features like summarization incredibly helpful. There is a quote about it being a lifesaver for someone with ADHD. Even the judiciary are looking at similar tools for things like summarizing case bundles.
30 minutes a day, scaled up. That's enormous. What about finding information? Search.
Big improvements planned there, too. They talk about semantic search. Unlike just matching keywords, it understands the meaning, the context.
How does that help practically?
Well, imagine a probation officer needing guidance. Instead of trying 10 different keyword searches in hundreds of policy documents, semantic search understands what they're really asking for and finds the relevant paragraphs much faster. Cuts down those frustrating search flurries.
Yeah, we've all been there. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Speech and translation.
Also being piloted. Transcription and summarization tools for probation officers, initially in places like Kent, Surrey, Sussex, Wales. The results so far, a 50% cut in note-taking time.
50%.
Yeah, and high staff satisfaction scores 4.5 out of 5. The idea is freeing officers up for more direct work with individuals, which boosts morale too. And you can see the potential in courts, maybe automated transcription or for translation. They actually use AI to translate the plan itself into Welsh.
That's a neat demonstration. And those AI agents for admin tasks, you mentioned processing paper forms.
Right. These evolving agents can automate those multi-step processes. They're starting cautiously, low-risk tasks first. But the pilot, using machine learning and computer vision to process millions of HMCTS paper forms more efficiently. That directly tackles that huge public sector productivity drag caused by old tech and manual work, estimated at $45 billion a year lost.
45 billion.
Yeah.
Gosh. The plan also mentions AI coding assistants, tools like GitHub Copilot.
Yep. Widely used in industry already, apparently 80% of developers use them. They can help generate code, understand old or unfamiliar code bases, cut down repetitive coding tasks. Really useful, especially when you're dealing with those legacy systems we talked about.
So, lots on the productivity front. What about beyond individual tasks, making the whole system run better?
AI can definitely help with scheduling and resource allocation. Think optimizing court listings or prison capacity management. The plan cites NHS examples where AI scheduling has made a big difference.
Okay.
Then there's personalized education, not just for staff, but potentially for offenders too. AI learning platforms can adapt content. That's important given that, sadly, education levels among offenders are often quite low. HMPPS, the Prison and Probation Service, is already piloting generative AI tools for prisoner education in subjects like geography and digital skills.
Personalized learning even within prisons.
Yeah.
Interesting. And for the public interacting with the system.
Yeah, public-facing AI assistants, chatbots maybe, in call centers to improve customer experience, or tools to help people navigate tricky things like child arrangement processes or understand how to get criminal injuries compensation, or even just figure out prison visiting rules. There's already a digital justice system AI chatbot using gov.uk content.
Making it less opaque for the average person. That seems vital. And for the policymakers themselves.
AI can help them too. Identifying patterns in really complex data sets, maybe summarizing huge amounts of consultation feedback quickly, running simulations for different policy scenarios, giving them better evidence for strategic decisions.
Right. And it's not all about the new generative AI, is it? They mentioned older types, too.
Absolutely. The plan explicitly says that traditional statistical models, predictive machine learning, the non-generative stuff, remain crucial. Things like risk assessment tools, predicting reoffending likelihood, prioritizing resources, these are still delivering real value, like helping estimate violence risks in prisons.
Good point. So it's a mix of old and new AI. And how do they know if any of this is actually working? Measuring success.
They're clear on needing clear, quantifiable metrics for everything. Accuracy, user satisfaction, time saved, how many people are using it, the adoption rate, and importantly, the return on investment, the ROI. Prove the value before you scale it.
Okay, that proved the value theme runs right through it.
Yeah.
Now the third priority. This seems less about the tech itself and more about the people.
Exactly. Priority 3 is investing in our people and partners.
Yeah.
It recognizes AI isn't just plug and play, it changes how people work. So you need buy-in, you need engagement with staff, with unions, with external partners.
And getting the right skills in-house must be a challenge competing with the private sector.
Huge challenge. They're tackling it with things like a new Justice AI Fellowship to attract senior specialists, recruiting for specific roles like DevOps, MLOps, the people who actually deploy and manage AI systems.
But they admit it's tough.
Oh, yeah. They acknowledge competing with tech salaries and navigating government hiring processes can be slow. So they're trying to speed things up, create clearer career paths for AI specialists within justice.
And bringing in new talent.
They've launched a Justice AI Academy internship program, trying to get top AI and data science graduates interested, give them real-world justice problems to work on, build that pipeline for the future.
Smart. What about upskilling the existing workforce? You mentioned a confidence gap earlier.
Yeah, that 36% figure for staff lacking confidence with digital tools is telling. So there's training plan for everyone, plus specific initiatives like an AI talent accelerator or sort of a hackathon-style course for the current digital and data staff to keep them up to speed.
And tackling resistance. Not everyone's going to welcome AI with open arms.
No. So they're focusing on awareness campaigns, getting users involved early in design, and setting up an AI champions network within the organization to help spread understanding and good practice.
And they're working with unions on this.
Explicitly, yes. The approach is meant to be employee-led, focusing on how jobs will change job redesign rather than just replacement, providing training, incentives, making sure AI enables people, supports human judgment, and they've set up multiple ways for staff to give feedback.
Okay, that engagement piece seems critical. What about outside partners? Innovators, businesses?
They want the MOJ to be seen as a good partner, running more hackathons, more of those reverse pitch sessions. And a big piece is unlocking justice data carefully, ethically, through things like the National Data Library, to make it an attractive place for researchers and law tech companies to develop new solutions.
Have we seen examples of that kind of external partnership delivering results already?
Yes, the Luminance example is a good one. That's a UK AI firm. They helped a criminal defense team, the 36 Group, review something like 10,000 documents for a big old Bailey trial.
And the result?
Saved them an estimated £50,000 and 4 weeks of lawyers' time. It shows how AI can handle massive evidence review tasks way faster than humans alone.
That's a concrete benefit. And they're also talking to the legal regulators, the SRA Bar Standards Board.
Crucial collaboration. Working with them to make sure regulation keeps pace, that it's proportionate, based on evidence, flexible enough not to stifle innovation, but strong enough to maintain public trust.
Does that enable new types of legal services?
Potentially, yes. They highlight Garfield AI, apparently the world's first SRA-approved law firm that's driven primarily by AI. It focuses on small debt recovery.
Really? An AI law firm?
Well, AI-driven. It shows how AI could create new ways to access justice, maybe taking pressure off the courts for certain types of cases. And that was possible partly because of good data standards allowing systems to connect.
Fascinating. So bringing it all together, the roadmap. How does this actually roll out over the next few years?
It's a 3-year plan, running these 3 priorities foundations, embedding AI people concurrently, guided by that scan, pilot, scale approach.
So what happens when?
Roughly. Year 1 is about strengthening those foundations, getting some early wins like those productivity tools rolled out. Year 2 is about scaling up the things that have proven successful in pilots, integrating AI more deeply into wider changes.
And year 3?
By year 3, the aim is to have scaled, interoperable AI solutions becoming much more integral to how the justice system operates day to day, both behind the scenes and on the front line.
And the longer-term dream is still that fully linked, accurate data picture for each individual.
Yes, that underpins the ability to really unlock the full potential of predictive AI and decision support tools safely and effectively.
So looking at the big picture, it's a huge undertaking.
It really is. The plan itself stresses it needs bold leadership, sustained investment, not just a flash in the pan, and real collaboration across government, with industry, with academia. The ultimate goal is a justice system that's not just coping, but is genuinely equitable, efficient, and ready for whatever the future throws at it.
Okay, a massive vision. Which leads us nicely to our final thought for you, listener, to chew on. The plan constantly talks about AI supporting human judgment, not replacing it. So thinking about that, what areas within the justice system do you believe absolutely must remain under human control? Where does that ultimate decision-making power need to stay, no matter how smart the AI gets? Or is that non-negotiable line for you?